Alright, welcome back. Let's have some more fun with mandalas. I'm going to minimize this menu. You can grab down here and you'll notice that the cursor changes, so I can make this a little bit smaller size. I'm going to move that down out of my way. And I noticed that we did not change the name of layer 1. I love to name my layers. So let's double click on this. I'm going to call it structure. Hit return, and I've changed the name of my layer. So the next thing we need to do is to select our pen tool. You'll notice that I have this freaky looking icon now that looks like a pencil with a not sign. If I click on something, nothing's going to happen. Not good, not good. How do I fix this? What's going on? Why is this happening? I'll tell you. Because we still have structure selected and it's locked. If I come up here and now I have shape 1 selected, I have my pen tool selected. Oh look, now I have a completely different cursor. Still don't like that cursor any better though, really honestly. I can't tell exactly where the end of my cursor is. If I hold down if I hit the caps lock tool, caps lock key, I can come over here, and since we still have our guides selected, our smart guides, it's telling me that I'm in the middle. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to come up here, and it's telling me I'm over an anchor point. You can see that. And it's also telling me that I have an intersect. So if I come down here, watch what happens to my cursor. Voila! See how there's a circle that comes up right in there in the cursor? That's telling me that I'm making it a closed point. No point, closed point. No point, closed point. No point, closed point. So let's close that sucker off. All right, so now I've done 3-pointed polygon. Let's check it out and make sure that this is exactly the way it needs to be before we duplicate it too many more times. So how do we do that? We go to the Control Y, to the wireframe menu. Oh look, something's odd up here. I'm going to hold down spacebar and Control, and I'm coming in. Oh, look at this. This sounds like a great time to use the direct selection tool, which I told you we could edit points with, right? So let's come over here, and there, now we have fixed that. I'm going to scroll down using the wheel on my mouse, and I'm coming all the way down here. This isn't looking very good either. It's not in the middle, so I'm going to click here and come down. I think we're getting a little better, but you know what? We're still not in the middle. My dot is too far down. We can zoom in only to a certain point, and then Illustrator says, that's close enough. So I think that's going to be as good as we get. So now we're just about where we need to be. I'm going to Control 0 and Control Y to get us back to the preview mode. And remember how we talked about we were going to use symbols. This is where the symbol starts. This is where some of the cool magic starts. Here's our symbol menu. So I can come over here and I can click on symbol. There is a key command that will let me create a new symbol, and that's F8, or I can come over here to this downward pointing arrow and say new symbol. So you got that, or I'm going to hit F8, same thing. But the important thing here is to give it a name, and we're going to call it shape 1, and we're going to make it a graphic. We do not want it to be a movie clip. So I'm going to hit OK. So now we have shape 1. Here you see it looks just like our symbol, right? I can double click on this. Whoa, what just happened? Everything else went away. That's because we are looking at just the shape. If I want to come back to that, I can come over here and voila, everything is back. You know what? Every time I do something that I think is pretty cool, I like to save. So I'm going to come up here and let's say File, Save. Alright, so now we're good. Next step, let's zoom in on our green symbol. I'm going to draw a coloring box around that, holding down the space bar and the Control key. I'm going to click once on my symbol, and remember how I was showing you the reflect tool is underneath there? You can get that by hitting the O key. I'm going to put my cursor right on the red line, and I'm going to hold down the Alt key. Something weird's going on here. Hold on a second. Alright, let's try this one more time. So now I've got the reflect tool. I'm going to hold down the Alt key right on that line, and I'm going to tell it to reflect. And we are going to reflect this way, and I'm going to make a copy. Not what I wanted. So let's try that one more time. We're going to hold down the Alt key, and we're going to go this way. Wait a minute, let's try 90 degrees. Wasn't that was where we were originally, right? So let's try 90 degrees. We're going to hit copy. Voila! So now we have copied our symbol. This did not change our symbol in any way, but I do see something funky going on here. Let's zoom in and check it out and see what's going on. Alright, I'm going to move this over with my cursor, and now we're pretty darn close. So I'm going to go Control Z, zoom back out. You'll notice that my symbol has not changed. It's still just showing that one symbol like that. Another useful part of Illustrator is that you can group multiple objects. When you group multiple objects, you can treat them as one thing. So I'm going to click on this side, and I'm going to click on this side. So now I have two objects. They are both the same symbol, but one is reflected, and I'm going to make them a group. You can come up here under Object, or you can hit Control G. So now where I have two objects, you can see, I can also move them as one. Control Z to put them back. And what we need to do is we're going to duplicate them around. So let's zoom in on our polygon. Another useful way to zoom in and zoom out of objects is to press Control plus to zoom in, or Control minus to zoom back out. So here we go. We're zooming in and zooming out. I've got my symbols selected, grouped symbols I should say. Come back over here to get R, rotate. I'm going to click down here at the very point, hold down my Alt key, and we are going to copy it 45 degrees this time. Okay, Control D. And we're going to go all the way around, and now we've got something really funky. You're probably wondering why in the world we didn't copy it into each one. This will all become clear in a few minutes, but let me show you something else. If you want to minimize a palette, you can click on these double right pointing triangles and they will go smaller. There is also a functionality in layers where you'll see that we have these groups. Check it out. They're still existing as two different points, but you can drill down and find out what it is that's going on inside your pieces sometimes. So this is a good stopping point. So right now what we have gone over is we have created a three-pointed polygon. We have created a shape. We've reflected that shape and then created that as a group. Once we had the group, we duplicated that 45 degrees around every other pie segment in our polygon. So let's call this session an end here, and then we'll come back and we'll have some more fun.